Hello, I'm Rico Cavella. Welcome to this episode of Fearless Aging. The title of today's episode is The Soul Intelligence Healing System. This is for releasing physical, emotional, and mental tension at the subconscious level, which is so important to really get a lasting, true healing. And so I think you're going to really get some great information about this. Our guest has a really unique system that she's developed. So I'm going to play a short message from one of our sponsors and we'll get right into the interview. Stop forcing down those massive pills that end up in your toilet, not in your bloodstream. Hello, I'm Rico Cavella. For the very first time in my 43 years as a personal trainer and wellness coach, I am endorsing and recommending a unique line of nutritional supplements. Superior Source produces an exclusive line of microlingual tablets that dissolve instantly under your tongue. I have a hard time swallowing large tablets and capsules, but these tiny tablets are the easiest to take I have ever found. These products are clinically tested for purity, potency, and have the highest rate of absorption. Microlingual tablets are ideal for those with digestive challenges and for infants and children, as there are no pills to swallow. They offer a full line of key nutritional supplements, including many for children. So why give these supplements a try? They're easy to take, highly absorbable, and inexpensive. Join thousands who have ditched their pills. One tablet under your tongue will make you a believer. All right, here we go. Hello, I'm Rico Cavella. Welcome to this episode of Fearless Aging. We have a really interesting interview for you today. The title of today's interview is The Soul Intelligence Healing System. It's all about how to release the physical, emotional, and mental tension at our subconscious level. So this is going to be really interesting. And our expert guest, her name is Christine Genovese. She is a transformational force in holistic health, empowering healthcare professionals to reclaim their own well-being while revolutioning the way they heal others. As the creator of the groundbreaking Soul Intelligence Method, she facilitates energy-based trauma release and root cause healing without revisiting the pain. Through direct sessions and her innovative online course, Christine teaches healers and wellness professionals how to integrate this method into their practices, unlocking profound transformation for themselves and for their client. So Christine Genovese, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, Rico, I'm delighted to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So actually my first question is, would you say that as you mentioned, the mental and physical tension that's in our subconscious mind, that's most likely that is the root cause of probably what holds us back from being highly successful in every aspect of our life?
I would say you're probably right on target. The method that that I talk about or teach about, my own method is called the Soul Intelligence Method, but it's founded in science, right? It's in the 1950s, bioenergetics was documented by Dr. Alexander Lowen. To me, being a former New Yorker, it's kind of common sense, but what bioenergetics is if you're physically not doing well, mentally and emotionally, you're probably not doing so hot, and vice versa. So to me, it's kind of common sense, but there is always an underlying emotional root cause as to what's causing the dis-ease, the dysfunction, or the dissonance in your frequency. So
Yeah.
when we can figure out what that is, then we can actually move that energy up and out and heal somebody completely and holistically on every level.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, it's well known now, even in the medical circles that what manifests in our physical body as a chronic illness, it begins in
Mhm.
our mental, emotional state. There's no question about it. And
Yeah,
like,
it's been there a while by the time it shows up in the physical, right? Our cells, our body holds that energy in, even though
yeah,
we think we may have worked through it, it shows up in the body.
yeah, it's in our subconscious, and we're not even aware of that. So talk about how you came to develop this soul intelligence method.
Well, this during the March 12th of 2020, the ultimate timeout for all of us, the COVID time period, on my last corporate turnaround. And I unexpectedly was plucked out of corporate America. I believe it was divine intervention at this time. But I had been, a crazy plane hopping adrenal junkie executive that would go around the country and really help to shift companies and help them, drive revenue and meet their business objectives. And, on March 12th of 2020, I was fired for the first time in my life, which was a complete shock because I had just gotten a performance bonus. I'm like, what? I'm meeting the objectives, but you don't want me? What? So essentially, what was happening at the time is we had put together a board deck showing that had the company allowed us to hire the number of people we needed to in the fall, that we would have been able to exceed the expectations in the spring. But the CEO kept telling us, no, hold the line on expenses. So what he did is he fired me. And so I texted my boss, COO, right away. And I said, I just got fired. He goes, me too. I'm like, what? So he took us both out. And that wasn't exactly what I said, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we both got let go. And the CEO went in and went on a hiring spree. So what happened to Christine? Well, I'll tell you, karma is something that always has a way of working out. What you put out in the world usually comes back to you. There's a board investigation. The CEO was let go. He put a crony in place, and they summarily ran the company into the ground. And it no longer exists today, unfortunately.
I want to ask Christine, there's a great saying that rejection is really protection for you, and it's for a reason. It's actually protecting you
Absolutely.
because, like you say, you're probably getting a little worn out anyway the way you were doing, and so if you hadn't gotten rejected there, you probably wouldn't have developed this what you're doing now. So it's actually a good thing, right?
Absolutely. So I got plucked out of corporate America and I was given a 9-month runway, basically. I had a nice exit package to figure out what I really wanted to do with the rest of my life. And, it was really a 9-month period. So I had the chance to birth something new. And, the timing of that didn't, really resonated with me. And so I spent a lot of time in prayer and meditation. And there was always this other side of me that knew I had an ability to sense energy, feel energy. And I do think that helped me in my corporate work, like understanding what are those underlying patterns that needed to shift in a business. And I was able to be quiet enough and listen to what was being given to me. And so, it was really like almost like a remembering, I guess is the best way to put it, remembering how to do something that I knew I always knew how to do and putting it out into an actual system so that I can work with people and help them figure out what is stuck in that subconscious mind. You mentioned how our subconscious mind is running the show. It's doing it 95% of the time, which is great because otherwise we wouldn't breathe when we were sleeping. However, we need to figure out what it is that's stuck in our subconscious mind. And it's everything from self-limiting beliefs or negative energies, emotions, and thoughts to repetitive patterns to old trauma. And we don't even realize because we think we've worked through it on a mental level, but we haven't actually shifted the energy up and out of the body. And that's usually when it pools, because emotion is energy in motion. When it is no longer in motion, it pools in the body. That's when it causes the cells to, get inflamed, cause dis-ease, and disrupt the normal function of the body. And it gets our attention.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to add too. The whole Chinese medicine is based on like acupuncture. It's just stuck energy. Either your energy is depleted or it's stuck in our body. So you got to get that energy moving again. But then, so tell us how did you begin to develop your whole methodology, your whole intelligence method?
Well, I learned a method a long time ago that used a book of charts and a pendulum to discern information. And a pendulum's really good because it can actually, vibrate to energy. And I guess you get back to the original principle of everybody and everything is energy, right? I think we can rewind the clock to elementary school and remember we're all protons, neutrons, electrons, and electromagnetic field, which means we have an electromagnetic field. We are energy, but because we're physical, we're corporal, I think we forget that. And people are like, well, how do you do your work over Zoom? And I said, well, how do you stream stuff to your phone? Everything is energy and frequency. And your phone interprets those signals, your television interprets those signals, your laptop, music your ear interprets that as music, right? It's all energy and frequency. And so everybody has their own energy and frequency. So it's not a wonder that things can get stuck in people, places, or things, just like they can get stuck in their physical body, your mental body, your emotional body. And when we talk about the power of emotion, the Heart Math Institute measured the field around your heart. And it's not just this random pump in our body, it is a toroidal field. It generates a 6 foot wide field around us. Whereas the brain, where we spend most of our time calculating, figuring, all that good stuff up there, is only a 2 foot wide. So when we talk about quantum physics and we talk about the electromagnetic field, the idea, the intention, the inspiration, that's the spark. That's the electric part of the electromagnetic field. That's sending the signal out. But what collapses the wave and brings it into physical form is emotion. And that's why knowing our emotions, feeling our emotions, allowing them to pass through, not stuffing them down is so important. It's, Neville Goddard got it right. Feeling really is the secret.
Yeah,
But how I developed it, right? It really kind of came through me. That's the best way for me to put it to you. I learned how to use a book of charts and a pendulum, and I developed an extensive book of charts. So I've got physical charts, negative energies, emotions. I've got work charts. I've got, charts that are toxic energies and emotions. I have about 100 different archetypes or patterns that typically show up for someone that need to shift. And then I can get very specific if I work one-on-one with someone to find out, when a trauma event occurred and who caused the hurt or harm and what was the energy in that needs to be released. Because the coolest thing I get to do is I get to work in the field of functional and integrated medicine. So when I partner with physicians, what I'm doing is working on the mental and emotional components while they work on the physical components. So once I'm able to get that energy, that trauma up and out of the body, then we can typically give the body what it needs to heal, because it's an amazing healing machine. So whether that's nutraceuticals, better nutrition, a combination of those things, or if someone needs more intervention, but once we're able to do that, we're able to heal them physically, mentally, and emotionally.
yeah, that's so good. I like how you mentioned heart math. I do a little heart brain coherence every day. How because as you know, your heart is producing much more electromagnetic fields than our brain, and it's sending those.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about getting out of your head and dropping into your heart.
Absolutely. And, just knowing that our bodies generate electricity, we're mostly water, we conduct electricity within our body. What's really big in integrative health right now is the importance of the mitochondria, right? Those are the powerhouse machines that generate the electricity and in the body, and making sure that we're supporting that. Otherwise, you get stagnation, you get inflammation. There's a lot of things that go on in the body. So not only am I the creator of the Soul Intelligence Method, but I also get to help people in the physical realm because I'm the Chief Growth Officer for Nutritional Frontiers, which is a nutraceutical company that provides really high quality supplements to integrated and functional medicine doctors. So I get to help people heal and make the world healthy on every level, every day.
So do you work with people virtually?
I do. As a matter of fact, because I started my business during COVID, that was the only way to work with anybody.
Right.
And that's the coolest thing is I do most of what I do via Zoom, right? And people are like, how's that work? I'm like, it's an energy transfer. It's all frequency. So whether I'm next to you or whether I'm, doing something virtually, you're going to feel it.
Yeah, that's so good. And I know you have your book called Soul Intelligence Method. So just real briefly talk about a little about your book, and we'll put in the show description how they can find your book and how they can get.
Well, okay, shameless plug. I have it right here. It's really
Right.
me on the cover. It's
Yeah.
called Healing Through Soul Intelligence. And my book is available on Amazon, Kindle, Audible, Barnes and Noble. It's available on my website too. My website is soulintelligencemethod.com. And that's also the way people can work with me. If they want to sign up, I do a group session the first Wednesday of every month at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. They'll be able to sign up to participate in that, to have a Soul Intelligence Method experience. But there's also ways to work with me one-on-one. But what I'm really called to do is to teach others the method. So I have once a quarter, I do a live workshop, and then I also have my course online available evergreen at any time if somebody wants to learn the method themselves.
So is that the gift that you have? Is that the address where it says soulintelligencemethod.com inner dash circle?
Yes, that's what I would love to invite any of your audience if they're interested and they would like to try it. I'm offering a free opportunity to actually experience this on me.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it myself. I'm going to check that out. So we'll
Awesome.
I definitely encourage our audience to go there. We'll put that again, that information. It's your website and your inner circle. So we'll definitely let people know how they can connect with you. And I definitely want to do it myself. So we just have maybe a couple of minutes left. So tell us real quick, like who you really like to work with, and what would be some maybe 2 or 3 tips that people who do feel like they are kind of stuck and they're having some mental emotional issues. What would you recommend that they begin to do immediately that can make a difference?
Well, in terms of who I work with everyone. A lot of the stories in my book are actual case studies of doctors I've worked with. So I first typically work with the doctor, then their staff, then their patients, right? So there's a lot of healing stories and success stories. There's a lot more about the method in there. But I work with anybody who's struggling, right? If you're having, you know, something show up in the physical realm, if you're having something show up in the mental or emotional realm, there's something not right that needs to shift. That's who I work with. So very much like a chiropractor does a biomechanical adjustment, people come to me for a bioenergetic one. And they work hand in hand, right, to help us be in full alignment with who we truly are. In terms of like a tip, there are really simple things to do. One of my absolute favorite things to do is to get out in nature because that's one of the best ways to give yourself some quiet peace and reconnect to the rhythm of the earth. Um, I am a big proponent for journaling and getting out any of those things that you're struggling with. Even the act of just writing, physically writing, allows it to move the energy out of the body. Another big one is give yourself quiet space. Okay. I'm a big fan of prayer and meditation. So give yourself the time to send the information out. That's prayer, right? And your asks, your requests, and then spend time in meditation so that you can actually hear the answers coming in. But give yourself that space because, self-care isn't selfish. It's really sacred. And so you need to treat yourself as best at, the best you can, even more so than how we try and treat others. Because I do think most of us are inclined to treat the other person better than we even treat ourselves.
Yeah. That's so well said. Yeah, thank you for that, Christine. Yeah, yeah, I like it. But it's about prayer and meditation. It's really connecting to your higher self, which already knows everything you need to know, right? Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, and I actually have a free healer restoration kit on my website for anybody that's interested. And one of the tools on there is what I call a sacred soul script. So when you write, if there's something that's really on your heart, write it as if you already achieved it. Okay, as if it's already happened with a lot of feeling and who's there. And the more you can get into the feeling, that's what magnetizes things to you. And so I have like a tip for people to use if that's something that they're interested in trying to get started on their journey.
Yeah, that's all about I am, right?
You
I am.
got it.
Well,
You got
Christine, thank you so much for a great interview, and thanks, for the work that you're doing. It's so valuable, and I highly recommend you contact Christine and also get a copy of her book and join the inner circle, which I'm going to do
Oh,
my.
you know what? I almost forgot. I'm in a movie that's coming out.
Oh yeah.
It's called The Pillars of Power. It's a 20-year anniversary salute to the movie The Secret. It was also a book. It's a 20-year anniversary, which is cool. There's 7 of the original cast members that are in the movie as pioneers in transformation. alongside today's transformational pioneers like myself. So I'm pretty excited, and that should be streaming on platforms near everyone by the end of June. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on again, and we'll talk all about that. That'd be great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rico. This has been a blast.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks to our guest. All right. All right, hope you enjoy that interview. And now we have another short message from one of our sponsors, and then we're going to have our resident naturopathic doctor, Dr. Jonathan Glass, to give you one of his great tips again.
In a perfect world, we would all be happy, healthy, and successful. But stress, family, genetics, and life's little surprises take their toll on our brains, our bodies, and our psyche. And our quality of life suffers because we're not functioning at our best. Well, you can start by training your brain with the Quantum Mind method. This is not a game, and it's not a toy. It's developed by the world's only brainwave entrainment engineer, backed by over 40 years of research and development. It's 100% natural and couldn't be easier to use. With regular listening, your brain will naturally become stronger, more efficient, your most reliable ally, and all with almost no effort. You can achieve anything you want and get the most out of your life with the Quantum Mind method. The world is yours, so take it. Take it now.
All right, here's Dr. Glass.
Greetings, Jonathan Glass. I'm a classical naturopath, acupuncturist, and Ayurvedic practitioner. And, the blood reveals a lot. It's great to get your blood work done, but one of the things it doesn't reveal very well are the toxins that are in your blood, the heavy metals, the nutrients even. It doesn't reveal it very well because it's just a snapshot of what's happening in the moment. So one of the things that's really important is sweating. And they found recently that the sweat contains more heavy metals like cadmium, lead, arsenic than the blood will show or even the urine will show. Sweat eliminates a lot of toxins. So this is why it's really beneficial to break a sweat every single day, and even better to do either a sauna or a biomat or some kind of heating technology that really warms you up and creates sweat. It's not going to give the body what it needs. It's not like taking a nutrient, but a lot of health has to do with what we're eliminating, what we eliminate through our breath, what we eliminate through our feces, what we eliminate through our urine, and very importantly, what we eliminate through our skin. The skin is the biggest organ of elimination, and oftentimes we forget that. So sweating 2, 3, 4 times a week really aids tremendously in our detoxification, especially of heavy metals and chemicals. So hope you keep that in mind. And if you have any questions about the biomat or saunas or that kind of thing, I'd be happy to talk with you. Have a great day.
All right, I think we have time for a message from me. Here we go.
If in your 60s, 70s, and 80s you were healthier, stronger, with more vitality than in your 40s, it's not genetics, it's not luck, it's the ageless living lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Rico Cavaglia, creator of the Ageless Living Lifestyle. I've had the good fortune to work with hundreds of individuals just like you to greatly improve their overall health and well-being. And my clients aren't just staying healthy, they're out hiking mountains, playing sports, and feeling better in their 70s and 80s than they did in their 40s. My clients and I are living agelessly, and I know you can as well. So let's have a friendly conversation about your personal aging challenges and your goals. There's no pressure, just an honest conversation about where you are now and where you want to be, and whether the ageless living lifestyle is a good fit for you. So I'm here for you. Let's talk.
Yes, let's talk. I highly recommend you go to my website, agelessliving.lifestyle.com. then you'll see where you can book a free call with me, and I'll get to know you and see what your challenges are, and I'll give you some quick and easy solutions to get you going on the right track. So I'd love to do that. And I encourage you to definitely contact our sponsors, contact our guests, because they all have some great value to give you. All of them are offering some gifts, and you'll learn a lot more, and maybe you might end up want to be working with them as well. So be sure and contact them. And if you love today's show, tell your friends about the Fearless Aging TV show. And always remember, our shows are streamed on the major streaming channels on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time and on Sundays at 4:30 Pacific time. So go out and make it a better world for yourself and for all of us. Thank you.